Awesome, awesome. Well, guys, I'm so excited. Last time we got together on a call was about 2 weeks ago. And actually already forget what we talked about, but I know it was a great conversation. It was a great call. I had a lot of great feedback from you guys and how you were able to implement some of the things that we went over. And that's really the goal we want to be able to do on these intimate calls together is really just kind of open a space, whether it's a message or a training, if you will, or like tonight's call is going to be more of an open discussion Q&A. I have a brief message just to kind of open this up, set the tone, really kind of get us in the right mindset, in the right heart posture. But I want to kick us off first by shouting you guys out. You guys made it. You're on time. You are here. If you have the ability to turn your cameras on, I would love to see y'all's faces. I'd love to see you guys who is on the line, who is ready to rock and roll. I see Paul on the line. I see Alex. What's up, Paul? I see Alex on here. I see Crystal.
Driving.
What's up? He's driving. Hey, you're good. I'm happy you're here. I see Danny on the line. I see Gerald. What's up, Gerald? I see Jake and I see Lorenzo. If you guys know anybody else that may have been trying to get the link to get on the call tonight, let them know. We're going to have a powerful, powerful conversation in just a moment. So I want to just kick off. I know when it comes to doing anything, you guys don't have to be here. This is a volunteer call. Really, just my heart is just to show up and serve in a way that I can give and provide perspective and ensure that you guys are on track and just equipped to succeed. And what does it mean to succeed? You define what success looks like, but I believe at the end of the day, it's when you are in pursuit of your goals, when you are accountable to what you said you were going to do. You're continuously showing up, staying in your process. Alex talked about this, I think, on the call the other week. You have staying power, just continuing to persevere and be faithful in what you're doing and what you're going through, knowing that there is a reward on the other side. And I'll be honest with you guys, I know we're here to make money. I know this is, a financial educational space. We are here to grow portfolios, to build trading accounts, to see some sort of monetary gain. But I can tell you the best reward on the other side of this pursuit, it's not just a destination that you arrive and you're there. It's this continual mile marker that you're meeting, and it's the character that you build. It's the heart that just continues to grow, to want to be better. It's who you are at the core, and who you're becoming. That's the real like harvest. And I don't want us to miss the main picture tonight. I just want to open up the call tonight and just really share what's on my heart, and really why we do these calls, and just bring an intimate space where we can discuss hard things. We can be honest about where we all are, and just talk about things that we're all thinking in our heads, but we haven't shined light on it, on how we can overcome those things, and just do it together as a team. And so really quickly, I want to just kind of give a brief message, and then we're going to open it up to some questions. Hopefully, you guys have some questions, something, whether it's something that you've been challenged by, something you're working on, yourself when it comes to your trading, building out your portfolio. It literally doesn't matter. There's nothing off the table type of thing. Like, ask your questions away. I can guarantee if you have something that's penetrating your heart right now, that's something that's been on your mind, ask it. There is somebody probably on this call that maybe just doesn't have the courage to ask, but you do. I'm planting that seed right now. But I want us to all think about really quickly, just while we're here, take a look at the names on this call. Take a look at the names in the Telegram, in our team chat, and even Mike Soltero, his chat. It's good to branch out and meet new people and make connections. Think of all of us here, myself included, as like an accountability partner, if you will. This journey doesn't need to be, nor is it meant to be something that you do by yourself, alone, isolated. No, no, no. We are here for a specific reason of why we're doing this, but we're meant to be in community in some way, shape, or form. And I truly believe that the number one reason why people fail and fall off and quit and throw in the towel, and just they get to the point where it's more than just discouragement, it's internal defeat. they've defeated themselves, self-sabotage, all these things is because of, well, I think a lack of understanding, just bigger picture perspective, but it's accountability. First, you have to have accountability with yourself. There's no accountability without self accountability because you have to at least show up. You guys are all on this call here tonight, but having accountability amongst your peers within community. And I think at times when we find ourselves maybe falling off track or going to the wayside, it's maybe because we lack a sense of accountability in our lives among people that we can come to, we can go to, that we can trust with certain conversations. And this isn't about I need to tell you my whole life story. It's just, hey, this is where I'm at. And I want to share two things I was talking with Alex about earlier. Two things to maybe just kind of wipe the slate clean to give a even level playing field with this game. This is an infinite game, trading and investing. Is you will be wrong. You will be wrong. That was something that took me a really long time to like accept and be okay with because I felt very insecure about like if I was wrong with a trade or I was wrong multiple times over or I didn't take profit in my investment, right? I made the wrong decision. So that's number one is you will be wrong. And secondly is you will lose. So I could be wrong with my setup and still make money on the trade. How many of y'all have been there where you didn't follow a plan or rules, but you were still on the money in your trade. It ended up hitting your target or whatever. You got greedy, but you still ended up making money. That's not good. You're still wrong in the way you did that, or maybe in the way that you had your setup. It didn't play out and that's okay. But the second thing is you will lose trades. I can't tell you how many times, and I'm trying to just give a bigger picture to open up. I'm trying to create a space right now where we can all kind of get on the same page of like, yes, I identify with some of the things that you're saying. I have been there. I feel that way. And just open us up to have this conversation because I can tell you we've all been there. And if you haven't been there yet, you either haven't taken enough action or you're just super brand new. Okay. But you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose and you'll probably have losses two, three, four, five times over. And this is where this call is. This is why we named the call tonight an honest review. We want to review the things that we're doing, our actions. And so it doesn't matter at the end of the day what you know if you do not do what you know. And it doesn't matter what you do if you don't know the right things to do. And so one thing I want to just share this real quick and we'll move on. One thing that I'm learning from just going to church and getting more involved, this is really kind of just hit me across the face, if you will. The more that I have been actually going and getting inside the walls, the building of church, being a part of the body, and stepping outside of my comfort zone and having conversations with people, getting inside of community there, what it's revealed to me is how important community is, how important it is to be a part of the environment. And so how the people around you how the people around you are there for you to connect with. Look at the group that we have right here, just as an example. If you're local, I know out here in Arizona we meet up every week on Tuesdays and we try to keep the fire going. We try to have those connections, have those meetups. If you guys are local to each other, you have the opportunity to get together with other people, do that. The fire just continues to burn when you are around like-minded people who are all on a common goal, common vision towards something greater. They're there to connect with, they're there to grow with, to learn with. And something that Alex and I were talking about earlier, I won't take too much, I know she's going to talk about it in a moment, but connecting through our process. We're all going through similar struggles, similar challenges, similar pain, dealings that we're experiencing. And we can resonate with that. We can talk those things out, whether it's in the chat or on the side. Make communion with other people. We're not meant to do this alone. This is a journey that we're all going to go through. And it's just like showing up to go live sessions, following your schedule. These are the things in this journey that you will need to deal with on your own. Showing up to those sessions, following your schedule, your plan, taking time to review your trades, your actions. But I can tell you in drop of one, if you guys know what I'm talking about, can relate, have experienced this, community can encourage you. Community can build you up when you're down and you're discouraged, can give you a fresh, a new renewed perspective to what you may be blinded to. We all have blinders on, and sometimes I need a brother to my right, a sister to my left to show me, hey, Abby, hello, this is what you are not seeing, obviously in a loving way, but you guys get my point, right? Maybe in community, somebody's going to be a testimony to your doubt, to your fear, to the defeat, to your limiting beliefs that you're experiencing. And so community is oftentimes the reason I believe people stick and stay throughout this journey. That's why we do these calls. That's why we do the local meetups. That's why we get to events, we get into rooms, we have these conversations, because a lot of times if you see people stop showing up, they're not around that fire, and they don't have a fire of their own to build. And that's, we're trying to create that fire here. And so anyways, what I'm trying to say is the more I've gotten involved in my church, and of course here, showed up even when I don't want to, the more I've begun to hear what I need to hear, to understand what I need to understand. And those things, as God's word is, I'm relating it back to church for a moment, but as God's word is alive and active, it becomes more than just words on a page. It becomes living and operative in my own life. And I believe that when you apply that same mentality, that same outlook here, it becomes more than just trading and investing. It becomes more than just lines and numbers on a screen. It becomes more than just candlesticks on a chart, not really understanding, to now knowing how to read a chart, how to place a trade, how to recognize your own confirmations or the strategy that you're taking trades from, actually following and executing on it. You have this enthusiasm, this desire, this hunger to ask questions, to show up, to get curious, to share where you're at, what you need help with, and maybe also, hopefully, what is helping you to help somebody else that is needing help. And so, last thing I'm going to share, I promise, and then we're going to move on and do some questions and stuff. But I want to just share really quickly to show what it means to give yourself an honest review. What does it look like to kind of look at yourself in the mirror face to face, and be truthful about who you are, where you're at. This is very, very important. I think so often we can try to consume so much information and knowledge, and we're busy being busy, but we're not. Maybe that's you, or maybe we're just I'm super fast out the gate, and I just want to start doing everything. I'm going to take all the trades that I can, and I'm going to start doing as much as possible. But you don't have the know-how of what are the right things to actually do. And so you either know a lot and you're not doing as much, or you're doing a lot but you're not taking the time to slow down to really understand what you should be doing correctly. And then the third point is review. So you've got to review the things that you're doing. A mentor of mine in the past had this training. He called it plan, do, review. And so the third point is reviewing what you're doing. You can't grow what you don't track, what you're not measuring, what you're not paying attention to, taking the time to stop and slow down and reviewing the small and the tedious pieces. That, like, the tedious piece, that is when you are intentionally and regularly reflecting and checking yourself. That is the most, I believe, that's just my opinion from the last 8 years of seeing my trading account grow, seeing my portfolio grow, all the things. That is probably the most fruitful action you could take, is reviewing what you're actually doing. Because insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. We've got all this knowledge, we're maybe not doing enough, or we're doing too much. We're doing all the things, but we're not doing the right things. Reviewing, what am I actually doing? I'm not just taking the trades, but look at the execution of the trade. Look at the execution, my track record. What is my history? What's my documentation? Pull up the log of trades. Pull up the evidence for yourself. See what actually happened versus what we think happened. Like, that's the disconnect so often, is like what I think is happening versus what is actually happening. That review right there has cost me so much money in the past, but it has made me so much more money because I took the time to pay attention to it. And so, how often are we reviewing? So I want to take some time, and I'm not the only one here. I'm just kind of the mediator, if you will. If you have answers or suggestions or guidance on questions that are asked, please jump in. Like, just at work, I do this where we have a meeting and we have a kind of a Q&A if we have questions and stuff. And it's encouraged, I leave myself off, like I take myself off of mute. So I'm just off mute the whole time. Obviously, if you have background stuff, put yourself on mute, but I'll leave myself on mute because it gives me like, I'm more open to speaking up and assisting or asking if I do that. Anyways, so ask away. Whoever has questions, please begin to unmute yourself, ask those questions, and if you can't ask it, type it in the chat. Let's go.
I have a question, because I've seen you do this pretty consistently. Basically, how has depositing monthly to your trading account like helped your overall just trading in general? Because I know for me, like I don't do that and I want to, but I'm always like, I don't want to add more money, but how has it helped you? Because I know it's something that you do consistently.
Yeah, tremendously. Let me ask real quick, who on here or just say it out loud. Just let's get used to talking. Out loud, who has a live account? Who on here has a live account?
I do.
Me.
I do.
Couple people.
I do.
Paul does. Okay, awesome. I think
I
I heard
do.
Jake. Gerald, you do too? Cool, cool, awesome. I was gonna show you this if I can find it real quick. Yeah, deposits when it comes to your obviously a live account has made such a big difference for me with the way in which I trade. One, it takes, and Mike Navarrete on Go Live, he talks about this a lot on his sessions. If you go through um, his favorite sessions, he's got like a whole boot camp, a whole thread of videos where he talks about this. And so let me see if I can share my screen with you guys real quick. I actually got, some of you guys have maybe seen this before. I got this Excel sheet, this Google Sheets page from Mike Nav. And obviously, past profits don't equal future results. These are just kind of, if you will, estimates. But I can tell you right now, I am literally because of I don't do a weekly deposit, I'll do a monthly deposit. So in my case, it's like $80 a month I'm depositing into my account. And this is an average like 2%. That's depending on like your trades and stuff. You guys can adjust this to 1% or 2% or half percentage, whatever. But what this does, and you guys can see the significant difference. What this does is it takes pressure off of like me having to win, like that need to like win every trade, that emotional need of like I need to win every trade. It's all good. I just know like automatically I'm going to be depositing every single month back into my account. And for me, it's just like that clean slate. No matter where I ended the month, no matter where I'm at in my account, I just know where I'm going. But this right here kind of just shows me the power of depositing. So in September, many of you guys know I started a $500 account using the harmonic scanner. And that's what I was going to say is I am literally on pace with what this tracker is saying. My account is a little over $1,000 right now, just from depositing the $80 a month, growing it from the trades that I've taken. This is where I should be come let's say March, April, because I started at the end of September. March, April, this is where maybe my account should be. And I'm not trying to pace this. Like if I'm not on pace with this, it doesn't mean like, oh, Abby, you're not doing this right, or you're a failure, or you should just stop doing this at all. Like that's not my mindset. It's just, this is just kind of like a mile marker, if you will, like a target, but I'm not attached to these numbers. This just kind of gives me an idea. So anyways, I'm going on a tangent here. The thing is, reduces the emotional involvement that I have with my account, just really kind of eliminates that feeling, that desire to like be right. And it also helps to expedite the process. So let me take this off and let me put, you guys see this number down here, okay? After 4 years, this is where the account supposedly will be, right? Just by putting in $20 a week, $80 a month. Let me put this to 0, okay? Watch this number. This is how crazy it is. Okay, 84 to 28. even your first 6 months, even your first year. I forget what the year said, but the deposit just kind of excels your trading in your account to grow faster, if you will. It gives you more leverage at the end of the day. And if you guys want this simple, stupid trading workbook, whatever it's called, I'll send it in the chat, and you guys can customize it for yourself. You can change these numbers if you want. Curious, is anybody else depositing? Does anybody else do the monthly deposits or weekly deposits? Not yet, right? Does that answer your question now? I know I went on a tangent.
Yeah, thanks.
Cool. What else we got, guys?
Got a question. How do you basically deal with FOMO?
Say that again.
How do you deal with FOMO? Like missing out on certain trades, maybe because of time, maybe because of, you didn't wasn't in a position to take the trade, you know.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm hearing you. How do you deal with missing out on trades? Like you
Yeah,
just missed your setup?
right. Like, FOMO, like the whole thought process of, missing out. Right. FOMO.
FOMO. Okay. Okay, thank you, Crystal. Yeah, great question. Who wants to answer that for Gerald? Who wants to share their answer for him? How do you guys deal with FOMO? How are you dealing with FOMO?
Well,
You have
for
to detach.
me, oh, go ahead, Jake or
Oh,
Paul,
sorry.
whoever.
You have to detach yourself from the outcome. So you can't have any emotions to pretty much money, because that's why a lot of people get into trading. So as soon as you can just forget about the money, focus on your system, focus on like whatever your strategy is. Make sure you pretty much become a master is what I like to think of it. Study it, learn from it, all the mistakes that you might make from it. I know for me, like I feel like everything has just finally clicked from for Trend Trap. So that's where I believe everybody should start to master their strategy, and then the money will come. And I feel like once you focus on taking good trades, don't focus on the money, just focus on taking good trades. And yeah, is that I know kind of like Abby said, went on a tangent, but um yeah, you just have to look for good setups. Money's the byproduct, like Jay
So that,
says.
Good,
I hope
Jake.
that answered.
I appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
Anyone else? FOMO? How are you guys dealing with it? Maybe you're going through it right now. You have like an example.
I was just gonna say the thing that's always helped or has helped me is knowing that there's always gonna be a setup. And even though like the amount of setups I've missed, I'm just like, what happened? Like I get upset, but then I'm just like, okay, let's wait for the next one. I just know I've been, for me, burned chasing the trade. So I've learned my lesson to hang tight, follow the process, and just wait, because it's never worth it. You're just chasing. If you end up taking the trade, and it's not fun chasing, just let it come to you.
Love it, love it. Anybody else? FOMO? Anybody else maybe don't have an answer, but you're like, yes, Gerald, I agree with you. I am dealing with FOMO myself. No, all good. I was gonna show you this, Gerald, real quick, and anybody else who wants to take a look. If you go to Mike Navarrette's page on his favorite sessions, you got to scroll down a little bit, but it's called Overcoming FOMO in Trading. This video, I'm sure I've watched it in the past. I've gone through like literally all of his videos. They're amazing, and he's like repetitive, so you get sprinkled in so many different things in one. But this specific video, fire, directly answers probably your question and more, with when it comes to fear of missing out, in your trading. And there is another one he does actually. Yeah, right here. Overcoming fear as a whole. This is a recent one that he did in December. So, and if you need to find stuff, you guys, I don't know if you know this, but if you go to favorite sessions and go live, they have a search bar and you can type what you're looking for and it will bring up all the videos that you want. Fearless trading, rewiring your fear of being wrong. That's what we talked about at the beginning. Trading beyond the matrix, fear of the unknown. So just wanted to show that to you guys as well. Great question and great answers. And also, I did not even say this at the beginning, but can we throw like some sevens in the chat? Alex told me earlier today, she just posted it. She just paid off one of her student loans today. Today, guys, what the heck? That's amazing. Like, I am so proud of you. That's awesome. Amazing, amazing. Let's go. Let's go.
Good job.
Yes, yes. All right. Great questions, guys. Great answers. Thank you guys all for participating. What else we got? What other questions, concerns, challenges, helpful things? What do we got?
Hey Abby, I got a quick question. This may sound kind of, I know like buy low, but are you like buying in conservatively, or are you kind of like I don't want to say dumping, but are you just accumulating levels right now for these altcoins?
For like investing?
Yes.
I just bought in personally when the markets dropped over the weekend. I bought a little bit more in the market, but I keep telling myself like I'm done. I'm done. I'm not buying
Yeah.
anymore. But the markets just keep dropping again. So another opportunity. But yeah, like I bought, for example, I bought more flow
Okay.
this week when it dropped. So
Okay. All
yeah.
right. Thank you.
Are you buying? Did you buy some?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy some tomorrow. I get paid tomorrow. I saw this thing on Mike Sotero, and he was like, he posted it on Instagram. He was like, you have to have capital on the side, and yeah, so just trying to work on that. I'm
Mhm.
sure but yeah, I'm buying in tomorrow, and yeah. But thank
Nice.
you.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Danny, you said I'm buying into all my projects this week. Yeah, markets are in that key zone right now. Anybody else made some investments, bought into the market this week, recently?
Last one I bought was a FIDA, just because if it could do what ENS or even Stacks, like it could go. Especially since it's on Solana. So if Solana goes, it's just a matter of time if that one goes. So I'm pretty excited about that one.
Let's go. Awesome, awesome. Crystal's buying every week. Amazing. Yeah, get those prices, get those discounts. What did they say the other day? We were talking, Patrick Kinney, he was just like saying how, I think you were saying it out, like how special we have it because most people, you can elaborate, but like most people just like they just don't know. Like we take it for granted sometimes because it's so familiar and we have access to it, but people just like don't know the what's basic and normal to us. It's totally foreign to them. But I don't know if you wanted to expand on that at all. We were talking the other day.
Yeah, he basically said like majority of people, especially the older folks, but just majority of people don't know how to even buy crypto. And that's where these ETFs are like kind of good because it opens it up to them. They're familiar with the traditional stuff. And but the caveat with that, if they go with that route, is they don't actually own it. So yes, it's good, but they don't know what they don't know. So that's why this group is very special. And how we could actually own our Bitcoin. Because if you have your keys, it's yours. But if you don't, it's like you're just tagging along with the price. So either way, it's exciting because yeah, I would hope that people would want to own it. But if they're in, they're in. That's awesome, and it's just more adoption for us.
Facts. Facts. Absolutely. Absolutely. Danny, crypto projects. I mean, yeah, a ton. Bitcoin, ETH, Ripple, Solana. I mean, they're all under like those, their main marker, 100K. They're all under that amount. ETH, same thing. Um, XRP, like those are like the main ones. I know like Mike Sotero has been calling out a ton of stuff on the exchange ideas, like just on Swipecoin. Flow, I can't even really speak too much on like, I mean, you guys can say some stuff too. I'm just saying, I feel like my forte is more with trading, and I don't know too much about the projects. I just buy into the ones that they call. But those are like definitely some big ones. And then File, I know he just called out another level and like compound things like that. But are there any specific ones you guys are looking at right now, or that you guys have been buying into, dollar cost averaging into, that are on your radar?
Uh, for me, it was just HBAR is a good one. Um, it's just been FIDA and Bio recently. Obviously, I have other ones, but I I feel good about what I have in. So I know when it goes up, I'm gonna be like, I wish I put more. But honestly, like right now, we always recommend utility. That's always good. But if you put money into something right now, and if you hold it at least a little long enough, it's it goes with the cycle. It's bound to go up. Like
Mm,
it's going to be very easy to make money if you invest right now.
yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like if you've been buying at these levels, there's no reason in the next 6 months or less, 3 months or less, that you should not be, obviously, depending where the market goes, you should not be in profit and should be taking your profits. So, good stuff. What else you guys got? Who else is, tell me, let's talk about, we got maybe a few more minutes on here. How's everybody's trades doing? What are you guys trading? Um, I know for me, like I mentioned in the beginning, some of the stuff that has always kind of just been that, like we all have like that thing that just comes back, that we are always kind of like disciplining. We all have our own not temptation. That's not the right word. I can't think of the word, but we all have our thing that we have to discipline. And I know for me, it's the fear of being wrong. And I know when that happens, I either most of the time what I do is I do not take trades. I find myself taking very little trades, if any at all. I find myself not taking my setup. I have seen in the past multiple times over when I get into this, like it's like I'm giving you guys some context here because I want to show you how specific we can get, because I want some of us to have a breakthrough. It may not be here tonight. It may be when you go and actually face your trading yourself, you will have that breakthrough. But I know, like when I have, let's say, sometimes when I have 3, 4, 5 losses in a row, from my personal strategy, or even with the harmonic scanner, like I was mentioning to you guys, in the last, I think 4 or 5 trades, I've lost. They've all hit either my trailing stop loss or my stop loss like right away. And it can be discouraging. Like, just like, let's humanize the experience. It can be discouraging. And for me, that will cause my initial default, like, limiting belief to like reaction to want to like not take the trade, even though the plan, you have to follow the plan. Success is following the plan. I have to continue to take the trades, take the setups, because if you take the 5 setups and you got 5 losses, but the next 2 trades are wins, you would have just won, you would have just broke even and then some. And what do we, that's like, that's the self-sabotage. And so I know, like, I cannot get too far on one side, too far on the other side. I have to kind of just really be checking myself again, going back to that review, being honest about where I'm at and my emotions and my thoughts, and taking my setups, taking every setup. So every one of us, that's going to look a little different, but how are you guys doing? What is maybe, I love that Gerald talked about FOMO, man. Thanks so much for bringing that up, because that is something that many of us like deal with. We deal with it. We don't have to say like we struggle with it all the time. It can be something that we've just got to discipline. We got to constantly be disciplining and checking until it becomes second nature. But what about you guys? What is something that maybe, you know, you're dealing with right now in your trading?
Well, I could just say for my trading, I think it, because I think it's so slow as far as like, because I have a smaller account, but just I think that's why I asked about the deposits, because I look at it as like, okay, a sole trade every like maybe twice a week at most, or 3 times, or XRP as well. But it's not that many trades I take. So to me, it looks slow, but I know the deposits could or would help. Um, so I'm in that place where I'm like just patiently waiting, but sometimes it does get hard to like be consistent with it and knowing like it's gonna take time. Um, and then I did want to say something about on the crypto side. I think right now, like yes, you could put money in and like you should make amazing returns, but right now is also when you should be planning your exits.
Hmm.
That's all I wanted to say.
It's good. Planning your exits. Hmm. Yeah, that's really good. I know we chatted about it the other day. Something that, how am I going to say this? I talking about like your target for when you're going to get out, because you almost have to like accept your target before, like, accepts it. Like, you've accepted the risk of pulling out, possibly, let's say early, but it's not early, it's your target, or pulling out late. But you have to accept that before it happens, so you know the consequences on both sides. You know the reward, and you also know the consequence of the action, of the target, of the exit. You have to accept it yourself, and it's got to be yours, not just what somebody else says. I know the Go Live educators are going to share their targets, and I, trust me, I take those targets into full consideration. I'm like, yeah, that's a great level, that's a great zone, that's a good reference point. But all these guys they're giving you ideas. It's still our judgment call. It's still our decision to make, like, hey, yes, I'm going to do that. And the reason why we have to take ownership of, I'm glad that you brought that up, Al. The reason why we have to take ownership of these things is because we don't ever want to be in a place where we're blaming somebody else or someone else or whatever for why we aren't where we are. It's like, at the end of the day, this is an educational platform here to give you the resources, the tools, the skills, the guidance, but we are still becoming, we are still growing, we are still being held accountable for our decision making. And also, last thing I'll say, and if you guys want to touch base on this as well, is I set a target for one of the crypto projects. Like, I know it could possibly go up to this level, but I don't think I could stomach that like just holding it to, let's say, $20, and I got in at 50 cents, because that's one of the targets Mike has for flow. He has a target of like $25, and I've been getting in at 50 cents. Knowing what I've put in at 50 cents and knowing where it could go, I couldn't even, like, that's just like, for me that would just be great. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I couldn't even stomach holding it for that long, knowing how much of a return I would have seen by what I put in. So these are just like mental conversations that I'm having with myself. Maybe you guys are having with yourself as well, or if you're not, you should be. You should be seeing how these things are going to play out and how your emotions will get involved, and be ready now, instead of when it's happening. You're already prepared. That was a great point, Al. Thanks for bringing that up. Anything else, guys? Any wins? Any wins? What, do you guys have any wins? Any breakthroughs? Doesn't all this is not all.
I don't have wins, but I do have losses that turned into lessons and are now breakthroughs.
Wait, Jake, say that again.
I said I didn't get many wins. Matter of fact, the losses, but they turned into lessons and had breakthroughs from that.
What was a breakthrough you had?
Well, so something that I was struggling with was my entry on Trend Trap. And after our call, I saw a video, and he literally went over on like when to enter, and it was the break and close. And so yeah, once I started seeing that, like everything started to click, and everything came together because yeah, so it's piece by piece. Now I feel like I solved the puzzle, if that makes sense. So yeah, everything is starting to come together.
Put another piece of the puzzle in.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's like this, not to be daunting, but it is like this it's an infinite game. And so we don't know how many pieces are there. Obviously, we just keep another realization, another piece of awareness. We're just adding in.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good, dude. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna cut the call unless you guys had any other questions, comments, concerns. If not, we will have our next call in 2 weeks on the 20th from 2 weeks from now to the 20th, same time, same place. Again, continue this conversation into the chat. Look at each other as a source of a connection of accountability, as a way to connect in the things that are common that we're all going through. You don't have to do this alone. The things that we struggle with, we all struggle with. It's not just like, this is me. We all are going through the same thing. We're all dealing with our own thing that we must discipline, that we must work on. And this is a journey. It's a process. You got to have staying power, like Alex said the other week. You got to persevere. You got to be faithful. And I think all of you guys on this call right now, you have that mindset. Just continue to sharpen yourself and sharpen. You leverage each other to sharpen each other. So with that, I appreciate you guys for being here. Let us know how we can continue to help and equip you and keep you on track. But I love you guys, and I'll see y'all on the next call. Peace.
Thank you, Abby.
Bye.